Hey there, psst, you like video games? You like roguelikes? Well, viewer, have I got a game for you. This is Toejam and Earl. Anyways, are you familiar with roguelikes? The games where you usually dungeon crawl and fight your way to survive. Usually many fantasy games do this, such as Zelda, Dead Cells, Hades, Binding of Isaac. Usually these games are very fun because of their pick up and play style. Did you know the very first roguelike game was a game called Rogue? Shocker, I know. But it was released in 1980 for the Apple II, but officially the first commercially available roguelike game was Beneath Apple Manor, released in 1979. So 1 full year before Rogue hit the scene. The gameplay looks freaking fantastic. Truly, a game ahead of our time indeed. For real though, this is a game you could put anybody to sleep with. But frankly, that is what it is when a game isn't as based as me. But anyways, the main topic of this video is Toejam and Earl. Ah yes, the classic video game. Back when video games had wacky designs and gross out humor. Anybody remember Booger Man? Yeah, I'ma just leave that at that. But overall, this game has a special charm to it that is like no other. It feels crude and looks crude, but that also makes it stand out better against all the cutesy SEGA games around the time too. The creator, Greg Robinson, who was inspired by the game Rogue. See, it came around full circle. He came up with the idea for Toejam and Earl after working on Starflight, and while vibing on the beach in Hawaii. He envisioned the characters and a plot combining Rogue's gameplay with some sci-fi elements. In 1989, Johnson met programmer Mark Vorzanger, and the two decided to develop the game together, forming Johnson Vorzanger Productions. That's one crazy name. They pitched the idea of randomly generated levels to SEGA, then Mr. SEGA said, "Yes. Yes, my son, make randomly generated game for the Sega Genesis," as Mr. SEGA held out his angelic hands to them. So, this marked the beginning of Toejam and Earl. Also, if you're wondering what he is up to nowadays, he still makes games. He even worked on the game called Spore. And let me tell you, viewer, this game is hella based. Not a Sega game, but still, it's very good. But anyways, the music on the intro flippin' slaps. It is very funky and adds to that feeling. Also, from the tile backgrounds and colors, it has that blend of mid to late 80s, early 90s look. So the story is about aliens named Toejam and Earl crash land on planet Earth and must collect their parts in order to go back home. Oh, also they are rappers, which is why they have very, hip designs. So, you have 10 parts to collect. Once you do, you pretty much get to go home. Okay, so that is pretty simple. So, we start the games and our heroes introduce themselves with them saying they're from planet Funkotron. Hell yeah, dude. Why is our planet not called that? Imagine, we're just vibing on planet Funkotron. Anyways, they show us their funky spaceship called, hold on to your seats, viewer, it is called the Rap Master Rocket Ship. God dang, son. Anyways, while they're cruising through space, Earl wanted to fly the ship and, well, he shows off a little and they die. Crash the ship on planet Earth. Look at the game blaming me like I let him drive. I didn't let him drive. Aw man, how is insurance gonna cover this? So, in the menu we have a few game options. We can play 2-player or play single player. I sadly have to play single player because I have no friends. Anyways, we choose the option and play a random world or a fixed world. I'm just gonna choose a random world. Also, this game has the soundtrack. Okay, now this is flippin' epic. The soundtrack alone is so based. Also, since the worlds are random, it is basically going to be different through each playthrough, but basically we got stuff to interact with. Presents, which all do different things, like it gives you random abilities or punishes you. And also there are some enemies. You can try your best to avoid them. Sometimes you can use the power-ups to do that. This game is perfect for an exploration game. I love looking around at all the levels and stuff to interact with. During my time playing, I did get frustrated by the mechanics. Just be patient and take your time. I think that is all the game is all about, just exploring each randomly generated level and having fun. I bet this game is a whole lot better with a friend. I can imagine you and your friend sitting on the floor glued to the screen and just exploring this whole new world with your buddy. Legit vibes, man. But sadly, the second game in the series was a major switch from the gameplay and style. Well, the game went from a roguelike type game to an action platformer, which, okay, that is weird. You got Sonic, Rystar, Comic Zone, and Decapitech, and you want to make another game that is a platformer? Well, this game is okay, and it is one I do remember playing all the time when I was younger, so the story is a direct follow-up, but instead, when they arrived back, they had some humans on their ship, by accident, of course. Anyways, they spread a mass, say it with me now, panic on Funkotron. Get it? No? Okay. Anyways, this game went into a side-scrolling action platformer game, and the goal is, of course, to fix the mess they started. Capture all the humans and send them back to their planet. So, Toejam and Earl got a lot of positive reviews for the originality, humor, and two-player mode, but it was initially a commercial flop. But as time passed, it gained a cult following, boosted by Sonic the Hedgehog's success, eventually selling 350,000 copies. Critics loved its quirky gameplay and soundtrack, though some found it slow-paced, despite mixed opinions. The game became a beloved cult classic and was later re-released, which is how I played my copy. I talked about Toejam 1 and 2, but what about the third game? Well, this is a doozy, because it did released in 2002. You see the problem? I do. It released when games were getting darker, and get this, the game only released on Xbox. Also, the game hardly got promoted. Hell, I didn't even know it was a thing until doing this video. But originally it was going to be released on Dreamcast. Oh, Mr. Sega, how could you? You let what could have been one of the best games slip through your fingers. Oh well. Looking at the beta footage, it kind of looks almost the same as the Xbox footage. Also, this game sort of returned back to the same formula as the original. But also the game was repetitive and at times feeling unpolished. But no worries, because there's a new Toejam and Earl game called Back in the Groove. It is like a remake of the original. It was developed by the creator in Human Nature, and it was crowdfunded. The game got positive reviews, mostly for nostalgia, but kept its charm from the original. There you have it, folks. The wild, funky journey of Toejam and Earl. A game born from passion, not profit, that broke conventions and found a place in gaming history. It may have stumbled here and there, flopping hard, switching styles, even getting lost in the shadows of darker times, but like the funky duo themselves, it kept bouncing back. Toejam and Earl proves that creativity and heart can turn a strange little idea into a cult classic that still resonates with fans decades later. It's a reminder that sometimes sticking to your original vision, no matter how odd or out of place it seems, can make something truly special. So next time you're out there vibing in space or exploring randomly generated worlds with your buddies, remember these funky aliens who brought the groove to gaming. Thanks for watching and stay funky. I'll catch you on the flip side.